So, yeah, there was actually a hockey game going on during all of that madness. Avs lose to the New York Islanders 6 to 4. So, full disclosure, because of the Duchesne trade, you're going to get kind of the Cliff Notes version here, as a lot of the time during the game was spent trying to figure out exactly what we got in return. With that said, I still do want to do a video because I want to make sure I get all 82 games. This one actually started off well for the Avs. For the first few minutes of the game, they were very solid and possessing the puck in the offensive zone quite a bit, unlike most of the games this season. Unfortunately, that good start was quickly dashed as just 4 minutes in, the Avs would give up the first of a bunch of goofy goals in this game. DeHaan's just going to walk the blue line here, and Mayfield is going to cut down toward the Avs net. DeHaan will then hit him with a pass. Mayfield goes to a really tough angle and seemingly just throws it towards the Avs net, and somehow it gets in through Bernier. After watching the replay, you could see that apparently it does end up getting shot off of Andrighetto's stick, as Andrighetto's stick got pushed through by Mayfield's body. So that would explain why Bernier wasn't expecting it, but still, you would like him to find a way to keep that puck out of his net. After that goal, the Avs offense would dry up a little bit, but they were still getting some good offensive production from their bottom six. And then about halfway through the period, Blake Como gets hurt and Duchesne sneaks off the ice with him. With two forwards down, things just aren't looking super great in this game. On the second half of a back-to-back, the Avs just looked a little bit off as well. Their passes weren't quite as crisp. The receptions were fumbling a little bit. It just wasn't quite 100% tonight. Then with a little more than 7 minutes left in the period, the Islanders just kind of take over the Avs in the defensive zone and dominate for a goal. Barzal's entering the zone at a high rate of speed up the near boards. Zadorov looks like he's going to play a little bit too close to the boards too early, and Barzal's just going to go around him like he's standing still. Big Raw is the other defenseman here in the middle of the ice, and he's going to play back to cover the second man in coming up the far side. Unfortunately, Yakupov is going to get caught flat-footed a little bit and not skating back hard enough, so he doesn't stay up with the third man in Eberle coming in, and Barzal ends up making a great pass to hit Eberle, and it's an easy goal. The rest of the first period was pretty much a blur, as information about Duchesne possibly being traded and then confirmed to be traded, but still not full information about what we were getting was coming out left and right. But at the end of the day, it is 2-0 at the end of the first intermission. And then at the start of the second, right as we were starting to figure out what we had gotten back for Duchesne, McKinnon rolls up onto the scene and says, "This team don't need Duchesne to score goals." After collecting a loose puck, EJ's just going to skate in as far as he can and then pull up and throw a shot towards the net. He does a good job of getting it on Greiss, and it bounces out hard. McKinnon, cutting to the net, finds the rebound and flips it in. And now the Avs have some life in this one, and it's just complete chaos for everyone trying to follow both the game and the Duchesne trade, as we now knew everything we had gotten for Duchesne. So on one screen, you have the Avs game going, trying to keep up. On the other, you're looking up all of the players the Avs got in the trade, and it was just wild. Unfortunately, if you kept up with the Avs game, it pretty much completely unraveled after that goal. 40 seconds after the goal, the Avs take a penalty and immediately get punished. Leddy's just going to throw a shot in from the point. It's going to get past the front defense and hit off something right in front of Bernier and somehow bounces up into the top corner of the net. There were still plenty more goofy goals to come. 3 minutes later, deja vu. The Avs take another penalty and get punished quickly again. Another shot from Leddy is going to ricochet off something in front, go high and off the end boards. It's then going to come bouncing back just on the far side of the goal and appears to hit off of Nemeth's shin and bounce into the net behind Bernier. So yeah, a trade mid-game, 3 weird bounces, and we're just a couple minutes into the second, and more weird bounces were still to come. I mean, many more. After that goal, the Avs do get a power play but fail to score on it. Honestly, I couldn't really tell you how they looked. I was too busy trying to figure out stats for Sam Girard. Then shortly before the halfway mark, the Islanders put their stamp on it and all but confirmed that this game was already over. This time it's Boychuk with the point shot that ends up going off of Yakupov for the strange bounce that Bernier is unable to adjust to. Man, did Bernier walk in front of a black cat on Halloween or something? I don't know. He's just not getting any bounces tonight. So, now down by 4, I fully dove into my Duchesne trade research instead of watching the game. I would catch the Avs add on 1 goal later in the second, though. It had been working for the Islanders all night, so McKinnon figures, why not? I'll just throw a shot at the net with bodies in front. It ends up bouncing around in the skates in front of the crease for a while. Eventually, Landeskog finds it and slips it in. It would appear that our top line's offense, at least, is going to keep rolling, so that's a positive. So the Avs would bring it to within 3 heading into the third period, and then a minute and a half into the third, the Islanders would make it a 4-goal lead again. The Avs would get caught way too high in the neutral zone, and a stretch pass would beat everyone but Zadorov. Zadorov, having to hustle back, does his best to try and make it a 2-on-1, but there just isn't much he can do with the angle he's coming from. Easy pass across for the 6th goal for the Islanders. From there, for a guy who was still only paying half attention and still kind of in a daze from all of the Duchesne news, there wasn't really a whole lot of signs of life through the rest of the third. Zadorov did put down a big hit and had a fight at one point. That was about one of the only times that I actually stopped to watch what was happening. And then, just for fun, we reach pinnacle weirdness with 30 seconds left in the game as the Avs get a crazy bounce. A good forecheck for the Avs gets the puck to Kerfoot down in the corner. Kerfoot skates it in behind the net and just tries to throw it out in front. It ends up taking a weird bounce off of the defenseman and Greiss and into the net. And then, 20 seconds later, Kerfoot would score again. Andrighetto's going to pick up a puck at the hash marks and skate it down deep. As he's doing that, Kerfoot is coming up the near boards here into the circles unattended. Andrighetto eventually is going to get down past the corner here and makes a fantastic pass right through the defender's legs, right on Kerfoot's stick for the easy goal. Open spot in the lineup with Duchesne gone. A guy like Kerfoot, who is a natural center, could be trying to work hard to work his way up that lineup. Get a shot on the second line, maybe. Ultimately, the Avs lose 6-4 in one of the strangest and weirdest games I've ever watched. Not only the Duchesne trade in the middle of the game, but just all of the weird bounces all night long. And even before the Duchesne trade, I was ready to pretty much write this one off. The Avs were 3 games above 500. They were on a double road back-to-back. I wasn't really expecting a great game out of them tonight, and then you add in all the craziness, and, you know, these kind of games are just weird. Hard to take too much out of this one. We get another bunch of days off where the Avs will have to figure out what their roster and lines are going to end up looking like going into the back-to-back in Sweden against Ottawa. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. If you haven't watched my video on what we got back from the Duchesne trade yet, be sure to check that one out. It's much more interesting than the game itself. I'm Rudo3, and you just know Duchesne's gonna light us up in Sweden.